26-00 in Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Any discussion, are you ready for the
Ready
roll?
for the roll?
Trustee Sword.
Yes.
Trustee Jessberger.
Yes.
Trustee Sierra.
Oh, yes. Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Okay. I didn't know if you needed to talk to any of us or.
Slam dunk. No,
Okay.
we've been committed
Yeah.
all along to the process and, you know, to the abatements and the cleanups, and I could have predicted that was how this was gonna go today, so we're delighted to be able to move forward.
Yes.
Bear with us, it's just another step in the process, to understand we're giving notice. She's got 20 days to respond.
Can you just tell us, or maybe Matt could tell us, so we're all in this room to hear what that process is, and maybe ask you any questions if we have any. I mean, I've read it all, so but I want to be able to give my other neighbors who aren't doing this every single day, maybe like I am.
I'll be honest, Steve, I don't do it every single day. This is the first time, luckily, that I've had to do this, but as Trustee Sarah said, what they just approved today was to send a notice out to the property owner, giving them 20 days from the day of the letter being sent to request a hearing with the Board of Trustees. If they do not hear anything in those 20 days, then they pass another resolution within 30 days, I believe it is, to move forward with potentially removing the structure. We have worked, I guess, with the Central Ohio Community Improvement Corporation, COCIC, in the past. I have reached out to them just to kind of see if they would help with this process, and they are available. So if we don't have a hearing and we move forward with the next step, then the next step would be the removal of the structure.
And at the if we were to have a hearing, if Acme writes the fiscal officer and requests a hearing, are we allowed to be present, and are we allowed to show photos or videos or emails or letters? I mean, are we?
It would be a public meeting.
Okay.
So I don't know how much.
I'm confident that's the case, and most likely what we'll do is just confer with the attorneys real quick about if there's anything that absolutely has to happen in a hearing, or if we can just kind of create a public meeting type format to deal with it. But I can't imagine why, if we're having a hearing, we wouldn't hear from all sides. So.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm asking. So to be able to give them the opportunity, and then do the trustees make the final decision of that hearing then? Got it. Okay.
Okay.
And then one more question. If you work with the organization, yeah, and they say, yes, we're going to remove the structure, does Acme still own the property, or does that property go to? Okay. Well, then would you consider Franklin County Health Department? They're going to prosecution. I'm sure you guys know some of this.
They have a case with the prosecutor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did talk to them, I guess, when the legislature passed House Bill 22, I think it was, to kind of, with the health department and the vaccination aspect of it, with Governor DeWine, there were also some additional side effects to that, to the point where it's really hampering the health department with doing other parts of their job.
Yeah.
So that is kind of putting everything the health department has on hold.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I there was one thing talking to this the sanitarian. He had mentioned that the health department can attach to the property a standing order that says you must keep your property this way. Like, so the property owner would have to make sure to maintain the grass. Like, if there's no structure, they are still going to be required to, maintain the grass, maintain the fence if the fence doesn't come down, which it should.
And we will always still be able to do our abatements and continue to attach to the tax lien the cost of that. I mean, so we will still be able to act just as we would.
If the owner doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we can.
Unnecessary.
Okay, so in that, okay, yeah, and because the best case scenario is if the house does go away and the property is still owned, that property isn't growing to be, you know, as tall as the grass is right now. There are 3 raccoons sitting in cages right now, you know, that were caught just overnight.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't need to go into, you guys know, but the goal too would be to make sure that the mosquito population, yes, is still under control. The critters are, you know, the house just gives them a place to live, right? You take the house down, they're still gonna live in the grass and stuff.
We set up the traps to get the raccoons so that Corey's group could go in and do the grass and all
Yeah.
that
The
stuff.
birds
So
are mostly bad, not
I
quite as
don't-
tall as a
I don't know if
raccoon.
he knows that the raccoons are in the cage yet, so
He-
I'll let him know.
Oh, I already
So,
texted the dude.
perfect.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, because the guy comes over, we have an agreement. I don't go on the property. I look over the fence. We put the cages where I can see. I even have binoculars that I can look, you know. And then I text the guy and say, here's what you got in the cages, and you know, saves him money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Public Works then should be over.
right. And then he'll
shortly
text
to
Corey.
do
Yeah.
what the last abatement request by the trustees was.
Okay, so she'll still own the property, so we might have to have additional cleanup conversations. Hopefully not.
I'm gonna make you an absolute promise that I, for my part, I'm gonna stay all over it, and I doubt that I'm alone in that. And I don't speak for the board unless they direct me to, but I have seen nothing but evidence of everybody wanting to do everything we can do
Absolutely
about this, so.
no thing in my head that says why somebody would have 5, 6 houses and not take care of any of them. Because they're all gonna look like this in another 5 or 6
Well,
years.
yeah, and the big, you know, a concern, and I'm not gonna say that, you know, this isn't gonna stop us, but a concern is, this is a significant cost.
When can you actually, as far as collect on that? Or
And-
can't you just take over the property?
I don't know the
Franklin
answer.
County.
But the county auditor. is
Yeah,
gonna
the
need
county
to be
auditor
involved with
does
It's
that,
not
I
in
don't
our-
go after
Yeah.
guys for
So the
property
county
taxes.
auditor, which I've already contacted and sent all the information, said that 18 months after her last payment, that they would be willing to investigate. So I got 2 properties that are $20,000 in debt, that after this June payment was posted, I can go back, so that's my agenda for Monday, is to email the treasurer, and then they will start the investigation process, because it's been 18 months past the last payment, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we still online?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Got it.
just hang around for anybody who still wants to chat about it, but why don't we, we've adjourned, so why don't we go ahead and close that piece